Indian test team has a big problem, and at this point, we don't know how they can fix it. Yes, we are talking about India's pace bowling. But what is the real problem and what can be done to fix it? Let's just jump into it. Consider subscribing to our channel. It's free and helps us a ton. Thanks. Now, India has never been a pace bowling factory. India has always struggled with producing high quality pace, seam or swing bowlers. This is not to say India never had good pace bowlers, but India was always known for its spinners. For a long time, India's new ball bowling was mostly to take the shine of the ball so that spinners could come in and do the jobs. It wasn't until Kapil Dev's arrival that India had a reliable new ball bowler who wasn't just there to take the shine of the new ball for the spinners. The 80s and 90s saw some seamers emerge for India, but none had the longevity of Kapil Dev. The misery of Indian pace bowling of the 80s, 90s and 2000s is a story of its own, but it suffices to say India never had a pace attack that can be called adequate for a long time. Bowlers like Javagal Srinath and Zaheer Khan, who served the Indian Test squad for a long time, were hard to come by in a post-Kapil Dev era, while many promising talents like Venkatesh Prasad, Ashish Nehra, Ajit Agarkar, Irfan Pathan, Sreesanth, etc. fell by the wayside. It wasn't until mid to late 2010s that India finally had a pace attack that could rival the best in the world. Ishant Sharma became a mainstay of the Indian pace bowling and Mohammad Shami made an immediate impact. The likes of Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Umesh Yadav also joined the ranks to make Indian pace bowling attack a more of a threat. India did start winning tests more regularly abroad, but series wins eluded them for the most part away from home, especially in Sena countries, and they still largely depended on their spinners to win at home. This all changed with the emergence of one Jasprit Bumrah. His debut in the longest format in 2018 changed India's fortunes. He was unlike anybody India had ever produced. A pace bowler who can perform in any conditions, home, away, it did not matter. He picked wickets everywhere. And not just picked wickets, he picked them at incredible rate, barely giving away cheap runs. He was a blend that just wasn't available in India. He had pace, could move the ball both ways in the air and off the pitch, and was incredibly difficult to get away. His rise finally gave India a pacer that can be counted in world's best. But one bowler alone doesn't make for a bowling attack. The thing about fast bowling attacks is that they hunt in packs, and India finally had one. Bumrah, Ishant and Shami made for what was India's most lethal pace trio. They could go abroad in their conditions and outbowl their bowlers. One of the best examples of this was India's tour of Australia in 2018-19. The Indian pace trio of Bumrah, Ishant and Shami outbowled the Aussie pace trio of Stark, Hazelwood and Cummins. As a result of this, India won their first ever test series in Australia. Indian pacers performed at home too. This was a relentless pace attack that had every bowler at the top of the game. If Bumrah won't get you, Ishant will, and if not him, Shami will. Even those who occasionally played for India during this time were right on the money. Umesh Yadav made for an able backup if one of the frontline bowlers was not available, like the South Africa tour of India in 2019. It felt like India were producing pace bowlers left, right and centre. The Border Gavaskar Trophy in 2020-21 season saw most of India's pace bowling attack out due to injury, but saw new bowlers rise to help, particularly Mohammad Siraj, who proved to be a great workhorse. The famous win at Gaba came on the back of a completely inexperienced bowling attack, as all of India's main pacers, Bumrah, Shami, Ishant and even backups like Umesh Yadav were all out due to injuries, and the attack was spearheaded by Mohammad Siraj, backed up by Natarajan, Shardul Thakur and Navdeep Saini. It felt like India's pace bowling future was bright. However, something has changed in the last couple years. The Indian pace bowling stocks seem to be barren. The Indian stalwarts of pace bowling suddenly started falling by the wayside. Ishant Sharma lost his form and that did not play for 2 years before announcing his retirement from international cricket in 2024. For a moment, Bumrah, Siraj and Shami held the fort, But then Shami got injured in 2023 Cricket World Cup and hasn't been back in the test side since. While India stayed strong at home largely due to the brilliance of Ashwin and Jadeja alongside Bumrah, the wheels really seem to have started to fall off. Since 2023, India have handed debuts to at least 4 different seamers in Mukesh Kumar, Prasidh Krishna, Akashdeep and Harshit Rana, and Arshdeep is waiting in the wings. The bigger issue has been none of these new crop of seamers being able to cement their place in the side. Mukesh has played 3 tests, Prasidh 4, Akashdeep 7 and Harshit Rana 2, and out of these bowlers, no one has played 3 tests in a row. With Ashwin's retirement, even the spin attack has lost its greatest wicket taker, and as a whole, the Indian bowling attack is weaker with over-reliance on Bumrah. Siraj, who burst onto the scene with some stellar performances, has also since been more of a workhorse than a legit wicket-taking option. Someone who can bowl all day and can bowl some really good spells, but rarely picks up wickets in unfavourable conditions. Since the New Zealand tour of India last year, India's bowling has been diabolical. Since the infamous New Zealand tour of India, the gap between Bumrah and rest of the Indian pace attack has increased tenfold. Just to reference some stats, in the last 9 test matches that include the New Zealand tour of India, the Border Gavaskar Trophy Down Under and the recently concluded Headingley test, Bumrah has picked the most number of wickets with 40 wickets in the 8 tests that he has played at an average of 17.12, a strike rate of 35.4 and an economy rate of 2.9. These are world-class stats of a world-class bowler. In the same time frame, Siraj played 8 tests as well, picking 24 wickets at an average of 38. A strike rate of 57.2 and an economy rate of almost 4. Akashdeep in the meantime played 4 of those tests, picked 7 wickets at an average of 49, a strike rate of 80.4 and an economy of 3.65. Harshit Rana played a couple matches, picking only 4 wickets at 50.75 apiece, striking at the rate of 67.5 balls per wicket, going at 4.5 runs per over. You won't believe it, but in this period, the second most successful pace bowler behind Bumrah has been Prasidh Krishna. Granted, he only played 2 tests, but in those 2, he took 11 wickets at an average of 29.72 with a strike rate of 33.8, even if he was more expensive, going at 5.27 runs per over. They say numbers don't lie, and these numbers paint a very bleak picture of the Indian pace attack. So having laid it all out there, what can be done? Considering the fact that Bumrah will not and cannot play every test, who can the Indian test team even look towards? Despite his spells of brilliance, Siraj seems like a shadow of the bowler who burst onto the scene and doesn't feel like the able new ball partner Bumrah needs. Every bowler who has been given a chance in the meantime has barely worked, and none seem to be able to fill the gap Ishant Sharma and Shami have left behind. Now, some may say, why can't we go back to Ishant and Shami themselves? But looking at the fact that Ishant is retired, and even if he comes back from retirement, he is 36 years old and nowhere close to the top of his game. And Shami is 34 and himself has struggled with fitness for almost a year and a half. Both seem to be not the options India should be looking towards. At least, not long-term options. That means we need to look towards the bowlers that are available now. Yes, that means your Siraj and Prasidh and Akashdeep and Harshit Rana and even Arshdeep or Mukesh Kumar need to have an extended run in the test side. We can't keep chopping and changing our bowling lineup and wish for someone to click immediately. A lot of these bowlers have had stellar domestic careers but lack experience of bowling to high quality batsmen in foreign conditions. They need to be nurtured and allowed to hone their skills before the team management decides to discard them. They need a run of games before the team decides if they can carry the workload. Ishant Sharma, Mohammad Shami, Umesh Yadav all took years before they became good enough to carry India's bowling unit. should the same opportunity not be available for those who have come after? It's easy to point fingers at the bowlers who themselves would admit they did not bowl well enough. But it's a learning process for a lot of these bowlers. It's apparent that Bumrah won't play every test. That means the bowlers that we have will have to be trusted. Whether they can do it or not remains to be seen, but we will never find out if they're not given the chance to. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe for more content like this. This is Cricket Archives.